Hello, this is Ms. Gudsell speaking, and in this video today, I'm going to talk about what Google Drive is, how to access it, and how to organize it. Google Drive is an online storage system that acts very similarly to the file storage system that exists on desktop computers. The difference is that Google Drive is accessible anywhere that you have an internet connection, whether it's on your laptop or your mobile device. Keep in mind, if you try to access Google Drive on your mobile device, that you will need to have the Google Drive app downloaded onto it. So, with that being said, the types of files that Google Drive can save include any type of Google file, along with Word documents, PDFs, images, and video types. So, let's talk about how we can access Google Drive. If I'm on my main desktop or laptop computer, I can simply type in drive.google.com, and from there, I may have to click Go to Google Drive, and then it will bring me up to the sign in page for Google Drive. So I will put in my Google account, which is also your Gmail account username, along with the password, and then it will take me to my Google Drive. Now, there is another way to access Google Drive. So before I get into talking about how to navigate Google Drive, let's talk about how one can access it. In the upper right hand corner, you'll see that there's this little icon that is made up of several squares. And if I click on the Gmail icon, it will take me to my Gmail account. Now, for Gmail, let's say you normally go to your Gmail on your work day. That's where you sign in. All Google apps are accessible from the set of squares labeled Google Apps in the upper right-hand corner. So from my Gmail account, I can also access Google Drive by clicking on the squares and going down to the Google Drive icon, which is this icon that is in a triangle with green, yellow, and blue, and it also has Drive underneath it. You can access other apps from this menu as well. So, with Google Drive, I want to talk about the features that you see on Google Drive before we go into how to organize for it. So, as mentioned before, this area is where you will see the toolbar to access your other Google apps. Notifications show up depending upon your settings for when you receive an item shared with you. The main Google account area is accessible here so that you can sign out of your Google account. This item is the grid view or list view. So if you click on grid view, it will change how your Google Drive main loading page shows up, and you will see documents with this visual preview. I personally prefer it in the list view. From there, we can also see the details, which just shows who edited which document in the most recent documents, and then settings. So, on the top of your drive, you'll see this quick access bar where the 4 most recent items you worked on are listed up here. As we can see, all of the items related to my guides to technology pop up here. Below it, you will see your folders pop up. So, this is where you'll be doing most of your work for organization and for file location. However, there is also a search bar in Drive where you can look for items based not only on the name of the item or keywords, but also by file type. On the left-hand side, we have the New button, which will become very important for when we create a variety of items in Google Drive. If you click the New button, you can see you can create folders, you can upload files, along with Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and various other Google apps. From there, you can see the computer section, where if you download the desktop app for Google Drive, it will sync any apps files from Google Drive onto your main desktop computer, if you choose to do so. The shared with me area shows you items that have been shared with you from other users. All items shared with you initially pop up in this area before you add them into Google Drive. When we talk about sharing and moving items in Google Drive, that is where I will explain how you make certain an item is fully in your drive. Recent just pulls up the list of the 10 to even further back most recent items that you have worked on. Google Photos is another app that allows you to save photos on Google Drive in a more efficient fashion. The starred icon is where any items that you star within Google Drive will appear. And finally, the trash icon is where any items you have deleted will be listed. So let's talk about how to organize Google Drive. With that being said, I would need to create folders to organize my materials within Google Drive. To create a new folder, you click the blue New button, and then you click New Folder. You can now name your folder anything you'd like for organizing your materials. You could do it by theme, such as classwork or finances, or you can do it by time, such as years. I personally prefer to use years, so I would put 2017 to 2018 and hit create. Now, as you can see, I already created a sample folder for the purposes of this tutorial. So let's say I wanted to remove this folder since I already have it in here. I would just right click on it and press the remove button. And now we can go into the sample I originally created. To go into a folder in Google Drive, all you have to do is double click on it. Now, there are a few items I want to discuss with regards to the folders I have already created. First of all, to create a folder within a folder, you simply click the New button. While under the appropriate folder, click New Folder, and let's say I'm going to create Science, and this is period 3, so I will type that up, and then I will hit the Create button again. Now, as you can see, what's interesting here is that Science period 3 goes above Science period 10. But let's see what happens when I rename the folder with pretending I have 2 periods of science. So instead of having it with that letter Z at the end, let's see what happens. Oh, so we can see. The way Google Drive organizes folders is through first numerical order, then alphabetical order. So what that means is that anything beginning with the number 1 will always go to the very top if your name icon is clicked with the arrow pointing upward. So if I wanted my Science period 10 to be at the bottom, I would have to rename it and put the letter Z in front of it. Any item that is labeled with an A will automatically go to the top so long as these numerical options are not present. So if there's a particular order you want to put your folders in, you need to use the numbers at the very beginning. And I know it can seem very frustrating to put letters in front of your numbers just because you might end up in double digits, but that is the way that Google Drive functions. So from here, I could then go into the folder for math period 1, or let's say even art period 2, and I could organize it further by creating a folder based on the fact that there might be various units within a class. So the samples I have been using have been based on the idea that these folders are being created in some form for school. But really, you can create the layers of folders to continue going as deeply as you would like. And what's nice about Google Drive is that in the main My Drive area, when you click on the little triangle icon, I can click on the triangles to see all the layers of folders that I have created. That way, if I have a file that has a similar naming convention, such as Unit 1 test or Unit 1 homework assignment, if I place it in the appropriate folder, I always know where to look in order to find it. That way I can organize it by year, by class, or by any other theme. And that is how one can organize Google Drive. In the other tutorials, we're going to learn how to move items in Google Drive and how to deal with items that are shared with us. I hope this was helpful.